Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Everybody now. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hari Hari Bol. So HG Prabhu is online. He's always eager. Oh, good. Talk to him. HG Prabhu, can you hear us? HG Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Dandat Pranam. All goes to Sri Prabhu. Ramya Prabhu is also here, Prabhuji.
Oh.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please. With your blessing, we had a wonderful book distribution, Maharaj.
Yeah, let's hear some highlights. Wow, Ramya Prabhu is there. Hare Krishna, Ramya Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Haribo, my obeisances.
Thanks in mind.
So would you like to share some of the highlights? Are you recording? Yes.
Sure, Maharaj. I'm not in a, that much. But with your mercy, we, everyone generally in Tampa, we have very low turnout. But with your blessing, with your mercy, we had a huge turnout of all the devotees. We had a lot of fun. And even the kids were very, very excited. They were, going after each and everyone. They did not leave anyone coming out from the Patel brothers. So, Maharaj, it was very deep. And the art of how you explained, actually helped us a lot. Because earlier I was, trying to do, but I was trying to sell. But, when you said yesterday, the art, show them about it and, let them, touch it and all. So that helped us a lot, Maharaj. Thank you so much. My kids were also so excited. Generally, my kids don't involve, but today with all the other kids, they were very, very eager.
Kids rock.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you so much.
Are any of the kids there? Could they talk about it?
Yeah, you want to talk?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. What was your experience today?
Good. There were a lot of people who were interested because of the steps you told me yesterday. I have to let them where are you from? You did that. It really inspired me a lot to keep on doing that, and a few of them worked actually. I did. There were a lot of people who got interested because I followed the steps that you did. So,
initially he was little skeptical and he said no one is taking, but afterwards he came and told Maharaj. So he sent couple of devotees here, and one devotee said that He took like $70 books, right?
Yes.
So he was telling Maharaj, yeah.
God, that's good. Congratulations. Well, I meant to
Thank
tell
you,
you a couple
Maharaj.
times you came to me and I said I was going to tell you a few things, and then I saw people walking by and never got a chance to actually talk to you. But I wanted to remind everybody, and I wanted to tell you specifically of a technique that's most effective, and that is that always keep the Hare Krishna mantra going. In between, when you're talking to people, the mind can become active and start thinking, well, this, that, who knows what the mind will think next. But if you always keep chanting in between, don't become enamored of the environment, or don't think the last person took, who's the next person's going to take, things like that. Just like this. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Hare.
That's how you distribute books. You just keep chanting Hare Krishna. And then Krishna sends people, and then when you meet them, because you're chanting, you're already in transcendental consciousness. So then you know what to say. And also, it's mostly that people look at you, and living entities are very smart, so they can ascertain whether you're actually in anxiety, or they can feel whether you're blissful, or whether you want something for them. But when you're chanting Hare Krishna, they look at you and they're thinking, wow, they have something, this person has something that I want. Does that make sense?
Yes, Maharaj.
That's the best technique, Prabhu. If you just try that every time you go out, and even when you don't go out, try it at home too. Walk around chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna.
Well, how was it for you today?
Good, Maharaj.
What did you do?
Pretty good? On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best day you ever had in your life, and 1 it was horrible. Where was it on a scale of 1 to 10?
1 to 10. 10?
6.
It was like a 7.
7? Okay.
Thank
Very
you.
good. So what did you do?
Realizations.
What
What
did you
did it feel like? What did you meet?
tell your realization?
It felt like after many days of doing the distribution, it felt like today I got the most I distributed the most books and everything.
Wow. So you did well today, eh?
Yeah.
So what were some of the people saying to you?
Some of the people ignored me when I was trying to speak to them, and some of the people just smiled and said, I already have it, and then I showed them every book, but they said they have it somewhere.
How did it feel when people ignored you?
It felt good.
When they ignored you?
No, I mean, it felt, I didn't really care, but like, I could, because I had many tries, because like 7 people, asked me, I didn't have to ask them, they asked me, and
He's saying 7 of them actually came to him and asked him about the books.
and then 5 I asked and they took it.
Wow. That's really good. I'm proud of you. I'm really amazed how you stood out there, even in the rain, and you kept presenting to people, and even some people ignored you and you didn't even mind. You were in transcendental consciousness.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much. Looking forward to the next time we can go out together.
Okay.
Thank you.
Say anything? Okay. Thank you so much, Maharaj. We are very blessed to have you. It was really feeling like, rejuvenated, because we have been doing for quite some time. But today was, the whole theme was completely different. And we had a it was like a picnic for us, and everyone was enjoying.
That's good.
Yeah.
When there's a taste like that, and everyone feels together and happy, then it's like
Yes.
something we all look for. It's an austerity we all want to do together. There's a few different kinds of book distribution that we can do around here. We can try next time by going to different types of places, and that way it can be some variety.
Sure, Maharaj. Sure, definitely. Tomorrow also, if there is one more thing, Maharaj, one more place we were planning. I was actually talking to Shubhilash. Prabhuji said tomorrow, maybe after that, we can try if we have some time.
Good idea.
Thank you.
Way to
Maharaj.
go, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Maharaj.
Prabhu is the one who manages all our book inventory. His
Is that
garage
right?
is like our
Well, that's the core of the
it's like the Apple garage.
Yeah.
Where all this startup is happening.
Nice work, Prabhu.
It's all with your blessing. We are.
It's not
Thank you.
easy to
I
What is that?
Santosh, so
Huh?
he actually gave me all the he gave me the login to your website.
Yeah.
So we registered today morning after our yagna. So now we are on that your website, Maharaj.
Did you also get the card that had Prabhupada's picture on it? It said, assume it could be done. On the other side, there's a QR code.
Not yeah. I did not talk about this, Maharaj. I will.
Yeah, this we have multiple this.
Yes, this one, right, Maharaj? Yeah.
Yeah. Did you try going to the QR code?
Yes. The QR code took me to all the folders, Maharaj. So I can. There's a lot of content over there.
A lot of content.
Yes. Maharaj, yes.
I'm so happy to hear that.
Now
Way to go, Prabhu. I'm really impressed. We step by step, we'll just keep building the party here.
Rebo. Thank you.
Chad,
We hope you come again soon, Maharaj.
thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Anita Yadav.
She's also very sincere devotee. She couldn't come this evening.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
How are you?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Danut pranam Prabhu ji.
Jai.
Danut pranam Prabhu ji. प्रभु जी मैं हिंदी में बोलती हूँ, आप एक्सप्लेन कर देंगे?
Sure, माता.
हाँ, मैं दंडवत प्रणाम कर रही हूँ प्रभु जी, दोनों माता जी को भी और प्रभु जी को भी. प्रभु जी मैं आ नहीं पाई, लेकिन मुझे बहुत, मैं फेसबुक पे देख रही थी प्रभु जी, लेकिन मुझे बहुत ही अच्छा लग रहा था.
Watching on Facebook and she was very happy.
Thank you.
और मैंने शायद ये मिस कर दिया, बहुत बड़ा चांस. और भगवान से प्रार्थना है मेरी कि नेक्स्ट टाइम प्रभु जी आप आए तो मैं जरूर से आऊँ आपके सेवक में.
It's a great opportunity next time she's always coming for the Sankirtans and has a very compassionate heart to give to this book. And her story is very interesting also because. Can I tell her your story, Mata, by your permission?
प्रभु जी कहाँ से बताऊं, जब मैं मिली थी आपसे तब से.
I can share briefly, or since I have to anyways do the conversion in English, so I can share it briefly. No? So actually, she met us in Kartik month last 2020, Kartik, in COVID, in the middle of COVID, there was a big time. And she said that today I wanted to express my gratitude and worship to Krishna. And we were doing lamp offering at the same venue. And since then, like, she picked like a rocket. And within like 2 months, she was chanting 16 rounds. Wow. And now she's chanting 16 rounds every day from 4 to 6 a.m. Every day, in spite of family, job, kids, and other things. Every day she chants and she reads Bhagavatam, she does Mangalarti, everything. And she's not can't attend a lot of programs because of certain situations in family and all, but she does everything. Thank you, Mata.
थैंक यू प्रभु जी, प्लीज ब्लेस मी, नेक्स्ट टाइम मैं फिर से आप लोग से मिलूं, प्लीज ब्लेस।
Tomorrow the program is very close to your home, so you don't miss that tomorrow.
प्रभु जी पॉसिबल ही नहीं है, तबीयत नहीं ठीक है मेरे हस्बैंड की, तो इसलिए मैं नहीं आई।
Kids are not well. बच्चों को
मुझे ठीक नहीं लगा आना, इसलिए मैं नहीं आई कि बाकी लोग भी हैं तो।
So please, we are praying that your kids feel better very soon. So I know physically you can't come, but in your heart you are there, and that's more important. So
जी सर, मैं फिजिकली सच में नहीं आ पाई, लेकिन मेरा हार्ट वहीं पे था, मैं देख रही थी फेसबुक पे।
thank you. The heart was there. Did you hear that, Mata?
क्या?
Did you hear Nirukula Mataji saying that?
नहीं प्रभु जी, सुनाई नहीं दे रहा ठीक से, आवाज नहीं आ रही है सही से, तो सही से सुनाई भी नहीं दे रहा।
Nirukula Mataji is saying कि sorry आप नहीं आ पाए, but they are praying for your family and kids, and next time they will be very eagerly looking forward to meeting you. आपसे मिलने के लिए।
जरूर प्रभु जी, भगवान करे कि
ध्यान रखिए बच्चों का।
जी प्रभु, ठाकुर जी कृपा करें कि मिले फिर से नेक्स्ट टाइम।
हरे
हरी हरी।
Chaturika and Shira want to say something. They had a wonderful experience.
Hey Krishna, everyone. We all went to the book distribution. Then I just came and then we just decided who will do what. Like I just sent some pictures of Krishna and Balram, and other people were like doing, I don't know, like they were just selling Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and other stuff like that. So we all were having a hard time trying to give some pictures and Bhagavatam to other people. Some of them would just said no. Some of them just said they just said okay, but then they left, and some of them just ignored and went by. So it was kind of hard. Sometimes we knew them all, so then they just gave us $1, $2. So then some of them gave $10 for just one book, and then we got it, and then we got $20, and then we just went to get a chocolate or something, and then
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
and then we just came, and then we just tried to have some more people get some more books. So we were just standing there. We were trying to figure out the plan, how we can get it, and we spread it around like the whole store, the whole pathway. And then we just said, "Would you like a book?" And then they said, "No, thanks." Or they just ignored and went by. So then it was raining, and then we struggled to just give because everybody were running, so we could not give anything. So, and we all were kind of playing, and I took little bit books, and that's what I know.
And say how much you collected today?
I collected 4 books. Oh, the money. And we all raised about $49 and 25 cents.
Hare
Well done.
A nice reflection. You spoke very well.
Thank you.
Really nicely done.
Actually, kids did a lot of books distribution, Maharaj, today. They were excited. I did not see. So even when we feel little hesitant, but they were going all the way, and they were bringing on. So this is the first time we crossed like almost more than $700, Maharaj. Just almost 750. I just calculated. Revolt, Maharaj.
Yeah,
That's
like,
really big.
you said like
Yes,
one
ma'am.
is
It's nice to
closing.
be a kid and you have no inhibition, you know, it's like approach everybody.
It's all
That's
your
great.
mercy. Thank you, Maharaj.
Yeah, well, it's really an important service for everybody, but especially for kids. When they learn how to interact with people and also what it's like to face rejection and to interact, and they learn something, they get something that you don't get in school or anywhere else. And you get to see the material world, how it works. Plus they see all kinds of people. They see people that are in different modes of nature and start to realize that what's in the Bhagavad Gita is actually describing reality, what the world's like. So yeah, thanks for your observations, Prabhu. And for the report on how well the kids did.
Yeah.
Our experience is, you know, whenever there's kids Sankirtan, then the kids also become more attracted to hearing chanting and being around the Sangha when the bhajan's going on and when the katha is happening also. But more and more they'll stay and listen.
Very nice. Thank you, Chakrika, for your amazing
Well done,
service.
Thank you.
I
What a
really
great
liked it.
day.
It was very well done.
Even Shira also did lot of book distribution, Maharaj, today.
Yeah.
Good job,
Yeah,
Shira.
she's in all the pictures. Shira was fired up. Way to go, Shira.
You make a good team.
Yeah, definitely. Shira, did you have fun today on Sankirtan? Yeah. It's fun, right? To go out with all your friends and distribute books. More fun than a barrel of monkeys. More fun. Excellent.
Want to share some thoughts?
Yeah, Hare Krishna everyone, Hare Krishna Maharaj, Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much for giving us inputs yesterday. So the first time I went to MSF, I didn't have such a great experience because I was facing rejection. I was really disheartened and I was like, why can't people just take a book? It's like for their own good, why can't they just take a book? So that was the feeling I got when I was like a beginner or naive, like maybe 1.5 years back. So I've never gone to MSF because I thought that's just not me. It's not meant for me. And today I didn't want to come, but I just came for Maharaj, and the experience was completely different. I was able to talk to people, and what I understood as before I mentioned is I think people will only be able to take a book or when we are in their shoes or when we have some connection, some kind of a common point, and then people will be able to, we can build a thread after that. And thank you so much, Maharaj. Your points were amazing. I had a great takeaways, and I really understood like what is that something that I can connect with. And when I talk to mothers, I know culturally something that they all tie up to. When I see fathers, I see stress is all something they tie up to. And when I see the kids, illustrations, pictures, stories is something that they tie up. And I was able to build conversations today with, I think, all the age groups. I was able to, I came out of my comfort zone, and I had a great experience in MSF today. It was nice to see so many devotees. I was so proud to see my daughter. It's her first time, and she really inspired me. And I felt I was just putting her in a shell. Maybe I should let her go explore Sankirtans frequently so that she will build her social skills, communication skills, and bhakti also. So I felt that, Maharaj.
That's so nice. Telling another mother about Krishna book.
Yeah, I understood that she speaks my language. So I was talking to her in my own language so that she will be comfortable and I will be comfortable as well. And she was looking for books for her kids. And I have a Krishna book at home, which is really great. Pictures are great. The stories are very brief and very nice. And my kids enjoy that book a lot. And I just wanted her to see that book. So we gave her a sample and I asked her, where does she live? She said, Valerico. And then I told her that, my kids are also in stress because they go to school. They have a lot of homework and they have other enrichment classes, which makes them really tired at night. But when I read this book in the night, they feel so peaceful because they enjoy the pictures, they enjoy the stories that I'm reading with them. So it's a kind of bonding for me as well. And even putting them in a spiritual way. And I talked to her about culture, how American schools are giving different cultures, how a second grader talks about crush and proposing with a ring. And yeah. So I really insisted about culture as well. And she was so happy to take the Krishna book because I think both of us were on the same page.
Very nice.
Yeah, you have a natural talent for communication. And I picked it out immediately. And that initial experience was just, maybe it was, a chance to step back and then be able to see the two sides. But I mean, you heard me, everyone heard me, I predicted it. You'll be a really good book distributor. It's because you have a knack for connecting with people and all the subtleties. You're going to be huge. Guarantee you, promise you.
Prabhuji.
I think that's
I'll put my petition to Prabhuji then.
and that's passed on to the daughters too. Because they were like
No, they're really amazing. I mean, the way Chakrika just communicated her experience there, she's just an extraordinary communicator. She sat down, she talked about it really clearly. And,
Yeah.
I told her, Madhavi, this is her first time coming to MSF and she was holding a Bhagavad Gita. And I thought that this is her first time and Bhagavad Gita may not be right for her. So I asked her if she can approach people and give free pictures, but the idea to collect $1 came to herself. That was her idea. And getting $1 really encouraged her so much.
She liked that. She
Yeah.
liked that.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's not about money, but
Right.
there are so many other things. I think maybe they're looking at money and that's what encouraged them initially. That's the first kick that they got. But it's more, and I think they're too small to understand all this. That's what I felt. But I just encourage them, go and have fun. I think MSF is all about fun. Just have
Yes.
fun.
It
For
is, and
the adults and the kids.
I like what you said about not having her in a shell, let her exposed to the greater world. And that's what I notice when I see kids over time being able to mix it up, the world. Oftentimes we stay insular. And, everybody knows their culture. They don't go outside. Plus, even in their culture, they talk to their friends. But on Sankirtan, you have to actually learn how to communicate. Oh, there's a rainbow outside. You have to learn to
nice
communicate with people, heart to heart.
Yeah.
And also see other living entities
The sign.
Oh.
as spiritual souls.
Yes.
It's really powerful.
Among all the people I've seen there, Maharaj, one lady, she's a Muslim. She gave all the kids that those were holding the books and the pictures $1 each.
Wow.
And she didn't take anything, but she is from another religion and she didn't want to disappoint the kids and she gave everybody $1. I felt it was such a sweet gesture from her.
Yeah.
It really encouraged. I mean, I saw her. I put my attention and I felt it good, Mataji. I felt nice.
The first time I took kids out, because I wanted to see what would happen, I took 5 5-year-olds out with me. And a couple parents were there to help. And there's a few stories from that, but the one that relates to what you just said. It was a spring day, at least it was nice out. We were walking around the neighborhood going door to door. And we came to this house and it had a white picket fence around it and a gate. small gate, and the woman of the house was standing on the porch, and she saw me, could tell that it was something not Christian, and saw the kids and books in our hands. And then she said, "Oh no, I'm a Christian." She said, "Oh no, thank you." But the kids had no idea what she was talking about.
Yeah.
So I was standing outside the gate, and the kids just charged through. They were trying to figure out how to open the gate as she was saying that, no, I'm a Christian. And they were so excited to try it. And they ran in and they surrounded her. And there were 5 of them around and all talking at the same time, trying to show her the book. And so as the kids are talking, she looks over the kids, over the gate, and she looks at me and goes, "All right, how much is it?" And she was just charmed by the enthusiasm of the kids. And she said, "I'll take it." That even though she knew, like, this is her heart was touched by the endeavor.
Yeah.
And that's when I thought, this will definitely work.
Yeah.
Because I saw the enthusiasm of the kids too. They wanted to go out the next day too.
I think on this note, Maharaj, maybe we can take the kids to different places like Tampa River Walk or something, and let them talk to different people who are exercising while walking, who are taking their dog walkers. It's a good platform for us to take them, like at least, as you said, five kids.
Yeah, and the other trick that the devotees have is, they go out for some time. Their attention span's not as long as adults. After they have the initial rush of doing some books, after a while, then they go someplace to a playground. Everyone gets to play. And then there's pizza, there's snacks. They bring snacks with them. They stop frequently and sit down and snack. And, you can talk to Kameshwari about the way that she does it, but she's got it down to a science.
Yeah.
Like, the intervals of which to distribute and then to play and stuff like that.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Maharaj. All your inputs really work like magic on every one of us.
Thank you very much for
Thank
sharing.
you. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
Prabhu or Sunshine, want to share anything? Come closer. Yeah.
Thank you so much for engaging us in the service of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this beautiful way, which is very dear Krishna Prabhupada. My experience was that first thing, that radar thing was very helpful to just know who is ripe and who is unripe, and approach the right person. And the other thing was that even if there was rejection, I remembered your words that the goal is not to sell a book. The goal is to just go out and try our best to spread this movement. And the experiences with kid, I was just thinking that sometimes some of the devotee kids are like homeschooled. A lot of people feel, how can you homeschool? They'll have no social interactions and this and that. And I feel that our Krishna consciousness has no dearth of social interactions, especially book distribution is the best way. Best way to let kids out and talk and interact and learn different things and see through the eyes of scripture everything. So I feel that book distribution is one of those things where we can cultivate leadership skills and communication skills and facing the rejections and be okay with it. That surrender to Krishna.
Yeah.
Everything can be learned through this book distribution. So that's my experience in meditations.
Soon after the kids at ISB started going out, they wanted to take charge of the accounting, how many books they did, and they formed their own little WhatsApp group. They formed their own WhatsApp group. So it just reminded me, because of what you were saying, the different skills that they learn, you know, it's like they're getting an MBA or something
Yeah.
at a very young age. Communication, you know, social skills, psychological, they're, you know, spiritual. But they met in one of the rooms at the temple, and one of our Hansapriya, one of our temple, she's like the temple commander. She just happened to be overhearing them, you know, and she said it was amazing how they were, you know, being very organized and keeping track of the Lakshmi and the inventory, and they were having a discussion about whether deities, Gornitai deities, could be distributed. Do you remember that?
Yeah, because we used to distribute deities also in the early days. Because Prabhupada said we could do it. I mean, in the early days, ISV, because we were ordering deities and we take them with us to the homes. And sometimes, along with the books, people would get some deities, some Gornitai deities, and put them up. Because Prabhupada had told one Dayananda Prabhu, he was a brahmachari, becoming a householder, and he said, how will I? He was asking Prabhupada what kind of livelihood he could pursue, and he said, Prabhupada said that you can bring Gornitai murtis from India, and then you can sell them everywhere, and you make money from them. And he said you could sell them even on the street, just like you do with book distribution. And Dayananda Prabhu said, so Prabhupada, you know, all these people, they don't know about deity worship or anything like that. Prabhupada said, don't worry. Nitai and Gaur are so merciful, even if they go to a house of a meteor, they won't take offense. And so, you know, we took that up and we were ordering these really beautiful Gornitai deities. I think they're porcelain. We're getting from China.
Resin, they were some kind of
Resin.
resin.
No, I don't like the plastic ones at all. Those are the more resiny ones, but we had ones that look, they're porcelain.
Huh.
I mean, we were getting some plastic ones, but I didn't like it. But then the porcelain ones they got into for a while, so that was why they were thinking about it.
So they were debating amongst themselves whether it was a bona fide thing to do. You know, I mean, it was really far out.
Yeah.
Any specific, do you have any anecdotes from today of people you met or anything you saw?
A lot of people rejected. Then this one lady who happened to be Karina's teacher, and I just said hi to her, and she was very open, and she looked at me and she said hi. And I told her, you look beautiful, because the way she spoke, it was very sweet. So I just wanted to say, oh, you're very beautiful. She said, oh, thank you. And then I showed her a book, and she said, are you selling? I said, no, it's not like a bookstore. We don't sell. Anything you give from the heart as a donation, we accept it. And she said, okay, I'm going to come back and give it. And she quickly came back, and she got some change from the store, and she gave away right away $2 or some change, some cents. And then we gave her a book, Light of the Park.
I got to meet her too.
Yes.
It was really nice. I love it when people come back. That's always like the most heartfelt thing. There was this one African American, a young person. I have a video of me talking to him. You know, he was respectful and appreciative, and then asked for a donation. He said he didn't have any money, and he actually dug in his pockets and showed they were empty. I said, what about your friends? Because they just went in the store. I said, why don't you go ask them? He said, okay.
He walked away with the book.
Yeah, I told him, keep the book, you know, I said, I'll wait right here. So then he didn't come out for a while, so I got busy elsewhere. And then Nicole, what happened?
We had moved back, we were further down, and we had moved back to the Patel Brothers store. And I saw him walking, Prabhu was talking to someone else. And he had Lakshmi in his hand. And this was about 15 minutes later. So we had kind of given up on him. And so he had Lakshmi in his hand. And because Prabhu was speaking to someone, he waited. He wanted to give it to him.
Wow. He wanted me to see that he came back.
Yes.
And it's such an expression of free will, because you can walk away and say, who are these guys anyway? I'll never see them again. But he wanted to show something that, hey, I'm good for it. I came back, I trust you, and that you gave me something valuable, and I want you to trust me. And that's a really meaningful kind of connection, isn't it?
Yeah, and then he chanted.
He chanted really nicely. I sent the picture of me chanting with him to one of the groups we're on. And it was very beautiful memory. Sometimes when I hear people who've never chanted before, it's the first time they've ever chanted Hare Krishna. To me, it's kind of the sweetest thing. I mean, you can hear somebody who's, advanced chant, and it's sweet, but it's different. But when somebody is brand new, it's a soul in there, and how'd you get that body? It's like they're beat up, they're intoxicated, whatever it is, and then there's a soul in there, and then they're sincere to chant. They just do it, and the sound of that, just watching the whole experience. That yes, they just do it innocently because I told them to.
Yeah.
And when I hear that, sometimes it's the most inspiring to me. Like the other night, we had a Harinam down in Palo Alto, and there was this kid, a redhead kid, and he was really enthusiastic about sitting down with the Harinam. I didn't even know who he was, but there was one devotee with him, and he kept telling me, let him chant. And I was like, okay. So, we pass the mic around a lot. We have several remote mics that cordless that we pass around. So, I go, all right, let him chant, So he takes the mic, and he came out with this really innovative kind of, it was like jazz or something, because it was in the same scale, but it was like an innovation. But he was chanting, Hare Krishna. He was so into it that it really stuck in my mind. Like, wow, that's powerful. He doesn't exactly know what he's doing, but he loves it. And he's chanting his heart out. That's a powerful impression. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, we met this little girl at Fort Lauderdale Airport just a week or two back. And she was just talking just randomly. And then I said, can you say Nimai? And she said, Nimai. Can you say Nitai? And Nitai. And she said, Nimai, Nitai. Nimai, Nitai. You were playing like that for a while, little girl.
Oh, the little girl.
Yeah.
I saw the video of you talking to a janitor or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she started crying when you told her about it.
Yeah, that was when we were going to Fort Lauderdale, Memphis. So Fort Lauderdale, we had this little girl. And from Memphis to Fort Lauderdale, we had this lady on the ticket. So both the times we had like good experience.
Really amazing.
It started on a good note, ended on a good note. So all the waiting time, the flights were delayed both sides, but the waiting time, Krishna had his own plans.
You were prepared.
No, when that cleaning lady came, I was like, she came and she said, first she waved. And I waved back. Then I said, I should have said Hare Krishna. She could have heard the mantra or some holy name. Then she came back cleaning. And then I said, now I'm going to say Hare Krishna to her. And I was watching. And she said, oh, you're beautiful. If I ever had the opportunity, I would look like you. Then I said, oh, the beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. And I said, thank you to her because she was cleaning. So then she said, oh, cleanliness is next to godliness. I clean for God. And I said, oh my God, do you have a book? I looked at her and said, do you have a book? And she's like, no, we don't have a book. She's like, oh no. Then I searched my bag and found a mantra card and they gave her the mantra and then she started crying and then she came and hugged me and then she said, can I hug him? And then I said, okay, you go hug. And then she chanted. Then we gave her prasad.
She asked you if she could.
Wow.
She was crying. She was so emotional.
Wow,
This
that's
was in
amazing.
Memphis?
Yeah, you should see the video.
I did see it.
I saw it.
Yeah.
She
We're
got
going
two
to send her
kachoris
books
also.
now.
Oh.
And then she literally started crying
Oh.
when she got the kachoris.
Oh.
She's waiting for the gift to arrive at her home.
That's the other
nice.
thing about meeting people. and seeing their enthusiasm, that devotees look at it and say, why couldn't I be like that? One quick anecdote, we were in North Carolina. It's the first time we did the MSF there. It was super hot, 108 degrees every day, morning and night. Anyway, that's besides the point. But we were going door to door, and a lot of people were coming, and we took different groups out. So we went to this one door, and there was a person who was physically, maybe even partially mentally impaired, but he was definitely in need of caretaking, and there was a professional caretaker there. So when he came to the door, I showed him the book, and he got attached to it, but the caretaker didn't want him to have it. She must have been averse or something. So she's trying to get him to give it back. It was a big struggle.
And how many people were at the door with you?
Probably 7 or 8.
Yeah.
And so then finally he won the thing. And then I said, hey, about the donation. Then the caretaker really went off. Said, no donation. No way. But he still was determined. So he went inside, door closed, and he came back with the donation.
Wow.
And he gave it. And then I said about the power of prayer. And she still was really trying to stop it. But then she got frustrated and turned around and walked away. So I said, please repeat after me. But he could barely articulate because of his disability. So all the devotees were watching, and I said, Hare Krishna. Like, he was straining. He was like, Hare Krishna, Krishna, like that. So when the door closed, I turned around, and the devotees were in tears. And I asked one of them, I said, why are you crying? He said, I wish I had that kind of enthusiasm that this person has. I don't have a drop of what he has.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking how, you see it again and again. You experience what it's like to actually have that raw enthusiasm to want to reach Krishna, just on a visceral level. And it reminds us over and over again that that's the only price to pay. There's nothing sophisticated about it. It's all from the heart.
It's so inspiring.
Prabhu hasn't gone yet.
Thanks, Prabhu. You want to share some thoughts? I had, yeah, Prabhu, please come.
Hey. I went to Maharaj. Was observing him how he would talk, because I'm very introvert person. Like, I don't want to make myself outside. I'll be very scoped in the sense, like, very restrictive. I don't want to open up myself pretty much. I'll try to deal with it with myself. And I was observing Maharaj how he will talk to complete stranger. It really struck me the points what Maharaj talked yesterday. Like, you have to do good sadhana for yourself. That's when you can talk. When Maharaj was really explaining, like, quickly, he said, like, in 10 seconds you have to show the book. I was observing how Maharaj will open the book, how he will just move the pages quickly, and he will show them. First time I observed, like, okay, Maharaj used to it. That's right. And then I saw the second person, that Darren guy, where he went and he came back. I remember his name as he said Darren.
With an O.
With an O, yeah.
Darren.
Yeah. I was like, he was kind of into it. Like, when Maharaj was explaining, he was into it. And Maharaj didn't say the same thing what he said to the other people before, but he still covered the same thing what he wants to say. Opened the book, showed him the last page, like, these are the people who recommended this book. And then he opened up the first page and showed these are the universities, and he showed that page of life cycle. And then he started to ask kind of open-ended questions where he got hooked into it. Okay, do you believe in karma? And what is the definition of, what do you think about karma and all those things? I felt really enthusiastic, at the same time surprised on how we can build conversation. That was one factor which I liked. In a way, okay, this is not just you telling someone, it's more like you have to make it more conversational, saying that, okay, this is what you need to do, or this is what I'm here for, or you tell me. So he got kind of, it went, the conversation went really longer, not with one person, it went with everyone. Wherever we talked to, everyone's conversations went over 5 minutes, kind of. Whether they gave any donation or not, that's secondary. But the conversation, building conversation was very, very informal. It's not like we are selling a book. We are more making more conversation. Just book is only Bhagavad Gita is on the side, but you're just talking to them very casually, asking them, making more fun. And I think it's something that I'm looking forward to going forward. Especially that I feel like that kind of conversation comes when I have it with the kids. Kids they ask more whys. They're saying that, okay, they're giving an answer. You say something, they give you why. Why should it? So it's more learning there. And if I learn, that helps me in my sadhana. And if I do it better practice, then I can do better service. It's not this. It's actually helped me different. So understand what you said yesterday in the SOS and why sadhana is important. It's not just outside. It's you who has to be nourished. That's when it flows, it overflows. That's what you said. So those are the things which I corrected today, Maharaj. Of course, there are so many, but as I said, something I will be digesting and then probably I might say later on. But those are really things which got stuck in me while walking with you.
Yeah, I really enjoyed working with you today. Because it's something where, you make this bond. When you're on Sankirtan together, it's like you're in the trenches together. And the things you see and hear combinedly, it's like, did you hear that? Yeah. Are you sure he said that? You're like, wow, this is real. And it makes Krishna consciousness real. It's not as theoretical. It's not just this practice we're struggling to do. The whole thing becomes absolutely imperative because you're seeing, like, God, there's actually souls in these bodies. And they're so intelligent too, because you see through the body, you can see these people. Like even when we drove up there, as soon as I saw these two guys hanging out, and I rolled down the window and I started talking to them, and immediately the guy, said like, I have all the books. I didn't say a word about books. He just saw me go, I have all the books.
He must have come from there where 20 people were.
That was a total player, like he has every angle covered and stuff like that. But to me, that's like, it's like a chess game. It's like the most ecstatic chess game where you're like, okay, and that's where the sadhana comes in too. If you've got the sadhana, then they can use their intelligence and the way they play the world and stuff like that. They can't defeat devotees. They chanted 16 rounds. And when you come out there, like, why can't I defeat these guys? Because they got this force field around them. The only, it's too powerful. And that's what verifies the whole process. You have to have both of them together. You can't just do one without the other. Otherwise, everyone stays in the Kanishta platform and just thinks about themselves. But when you put them together, you get these communities that are supercharged, and you can tell the difference from the air. You can fly over an airplane and you can see light coming out of the community that's going on Sankirtan.
Yeah, those are things I want to share.
Thank you for sharing. We'll definitely never forget that thing. It was so far up. I mean, starting with the japa in the morning, just sitting together and chanting, and then being out there at Sankirtan. That's the perfect package.
Well, and the initiation.
And the
That was the
initiation.
first initiation a lot of devotees saw.
Which is
It's
amazing.
so powerful, isn't it? When you
It
see
was.
someone and hear someone take those vows. And it's.
And not to cut you off, but I was so touched when I still in Ramaya.
Ramaya Kran.
When he was like, he has tears in his eyes. I was recording from the far. I could see Mataji was also having the same thing. It's like so emotional. It was emotional ceremony. But it's good emotion. It's not a bad.
There's something that's real that happens. Anyone who's done it knows.
Yes.
You feel it. And even if you haven't done it, if you've witnessed it, like you're describing, you know something in the universe just changed.
Yeah, Prabhuji, on that note, I mean, I have heard their father, and I felt the whole thing happening there. That our biological fathers are there, but you are our real father because you are taking that love and the love you are doing it, they're accepting you. I really felt that relations also change all of a sudden. I mean, suddenly our biological parents take back seat and you're just sitting and driving all of us. It's like amazing. I felt that when, like they say you are the godfather right after the spiritual. Yeah, it was like I could see all that there.
Yeah.
And it was very spiritual and so nourishing to people like us. And and seeing that it gave me a desire to maybe ask that somewhere in my heart. I felt that too.
Yeah.
In the morning, you said that okay, you should we should do this. Like there's so many aspires people. And I was thinking in the back time, I mean, how could that be? Let's see. That was my. To be honest, because this was my first time. I didn't see a lot of pictures where I saw Mataji's. So first thing I saw Mataji's initiation.
That was video.
Yeah, that was video. That was like Prabhuji shared. It's like a rolling photos kind of a thing, and then and now I have seen it, and now I can see. Yes, definitely. It's a big event. It's not a small thing. It's a big event. Yes. Certainly, it's one of the life-changing events.
It's a great victory too, because for somebody to come to that decision and then actually to set the date and actually be there, and then it takes place, and then it's done. It's kind of like you're in. You got in the water. You got in there. Because anything can happen in this world. It's like I blew it again. So there's this sense of triumph. We beat the material energy.
Maharaj, this event should go into Guinness Book of World Records. Only for one initiation, you came all the way and spiritual master coming for them. It's amazing.
Well, we definitely feel it. I mean, it's kind of mystical that we're here for us too, because
We didn't just book the tickets like 2 weeks ago.
it just kind of
After
happened.
we got back from India.
It's a confluence of various influences, watching the community grow here over Zoom. I've seen it, and just the enthusiasm that you've been pouring into the whole thing. I mean, and you're cool. Okay, Tampa is like, okay, let's go. And then it's like, we're going to Tampa? Yeah, we're going to Tampa. Like, what is Tampa? I don't know, but we're going there. It's Christians pulling all of us in different ways. Like we try to make the best decisions we can all the time, just based on, but so much of it is just on inspiration, and it's coming from Krishna. It's just like Sankirtan.
I feel so relieved because I was scolding. I said, "Why did you travel? Then we should have gone. Why did you travel? Then they're traveling." I was feeling so sad that you have to travel all the way.
No, not at all. That's our, we're Vanaprasthas. We're supposed to be living in the forest and we're retreat. But still, we're eating. Mati's cooking here, like little kings.
Living like kings and queens. Yeah, we bought our house and it's 7 minutes away from San Francisco Airport. Because at the time, Prabhu was doing Sankirtan at the airport, so we wanted to live close by. But we always thought we would eventually travel more. And being 7 minutes from the airport is really helpful. And we see you can sit in our breakfast room and you see the planes going by, and you hear them sometimes, like you hear them here. And we didn't travel for 2 years. And it was nice in a lot of ways, but it's really nice to be back out on the road with the devotees too, get as much out of it, or maybe more than anybody else does. It really inspires us, and it's been wonderful being here with all of you.
Prabhu, you have to pack, you have to be somewhere, you gotta go to fly to another state. And just being conscious of how late we stay up because you've been out all day. So we should
Mind up. Yeah.
Susoko came.
She's the host for tomorrow. She couldn't join, I guess, today evening because she is hosting the Albuquerque class tomorrow.
Okay.
And she's inviting Martha at her home. So we will do a small installation.
Okay, that's beautiful. So I want to give you
Does he have
a
his hand up?
Prabhu has his hand up. No, that's just the cursor.
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the
Oh.
person. So thank you.
We're coming to your house.
Thank you, Sushilpa Mataji and Sudhir Prabhu for joining. So we will, and we also invited 2 or 3 more devotees today to come at your home. So let's see if they come. So hopefully they'll come.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Haribol. Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Shri Prabhupada book distribution ki jai. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. His Grace HG Prabhu and Mataji ki jai. So on Tampa.